Hey guys, this is Steven from Legit PC, and today we're gonna review Remember Me. This game was absolutely excellent. I love playing it. It was a really great game. So here we're gonna go into the video options really quick before we get started. And pretty basic video options. This game runs on Unreal Engine 3. One of the things I would suggest, which you just saw me turn off, is to leave on VSync. I would suggest highly of leaving this on. Similar to bioshock Infinite, which was a modified Unreal Engine 3 that used DirectX 11, this one uses DirectX 9. I had a really big problem with tearing, and frame drop wasn't as big of a deal as on bioshock Infinite, but in this one tearing was really a problem. So I would suggest leaving on VSync. But it really runs pretty good on your machine. Here I don't know why I don't have Precision X on. But I do in other portions. So like you'll rarely hit 60 frames and hit the VSync. You'll sometimes go over, but rarely. Like this is my system uses a 660 Ti, and I rarely hit over 60. But when you do, it will tear. So of course here you see a little bit of the game. You're playing as the main character Nilan, and you're in a location called Neo Paris, which is a futuristic version of Paris. And I think that the developers, Dotnod, definitely did a great job of building this particular environment that you play in, and it's absolutely beautiful looking. And also you hear in the background the score of this game, the audio is absolutely epic, absolutely stunning, absolutely epic. I haven't heard a score like this for a video game in a really long time. That's how good the music is in this game. Even the combat score, the combat audio, which is really hard to do, they even got that right. Which sometimes is even better than what you have just walking around. The combat score is even better than that sometimes. So of course there you saw the little box thing, and it's basically like a lost and found type thing where it shows you where those little focus boosts or whatever are at. We're going to jump into the combo lab really quick. So this game, for the combat, is pretty much exactly like the Batman games, right? Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City, and the new Batman Arkham Origins coming up. To where basically you have a combo, which is either left click punch, right click kick, and you have a certain number of that. Like these ones I'm doing right now in this particular boss battle with Kid X. It's left click, left click, but eventually you'll have ones where are like left click, right click, left click, right click, left click, or something like that. And here, of course, this is the finish off. I started kind of at the middle of this Kid Xmas boss battle. A battle usually lasts like this for a boss battle, which is in the chapter. It lasts usually like 15 minutes, so I cut quite a bit out of it to the finishing point. And also, this is my first boss, so I didn't really understand the finishing part. So there you see the Presence. So Presence is like their special ability, and it uses focus power and stuff like that. So there's plenty of ways to mix and match and create your own character that plays to your type of advantage and plays to most. And you'll basically, at the end of the game, you'll have a combo that will pretty much do whatever you want. And you can see how it's very similar to Batman games. Like you have the combo, and then space is to jump out of the way when you see an exclamation mark, exactly like it is in Batman. He even uses the same engine as Batman. I believe Batman does use Unreal Engine 3.
Come on.
So it shows right there, I didn't understand that that's actually dodge. That's the space key. So I mean, you do learn at first. This might help you if you decide to get the game to not lose so bad against this boss. That when you see, punch button, it's a good idea to punch. When you see kick button, it's a good idea to kick. see the exclamation mark. So let's talk about the length of the game. This game is a 9-hour playthrough, which is kind of good and kind of bad. Like, to give you guys an idea, Resident Evil Revelations is a 12-hour playthrough. This is a 9-hour playthrough. So, depends, I'm not sure. But this is definitely a game that's relatively new and relatively fresh. Nice, fresh game.
I'm still on the losing
And this is also Dotnod's first project, Dotnod Entertainment, which I'm really looking forward to other games that come out from these guys, especially even like a Remember Me sequel, because the ending does kind of support that. But chances are
I can give you a whole other.
probably not. You see here memory overload. And that's one of the boss battles. So that happens like once, like I said, once after every chapter. So it happens quite often. And of course, what a lot of you guys are interested in is the remixes, which are where Nilin goes in, because she's a memory hunter. Nilin goes into your mind and remixes your memory. So I only have a like a 3-minute portion of that to show you guys. So here you see glitches. The glitches are what are in the gold kind of shining stuff. And then, you know, you can move the table around, things like that. And then if you rewind back, it cancels it. So, I mean, this is probably kind of boring to watch, but they are pretty exciting, and also they have quite a bit of difficulty. Even farther as you go on into the story. This one is the second remix, I believe, and there's a couple remixes. And this is the one that you see in the trailer. And there you can see how it could also go wrong, because of course you're in his memory. So if he kills himself, that definitely doesn't work. So of course you would spend, you know, a couple minutes doing stuff like this, and this is kind of part of the puzzle in the game. There's a couple different puzzles, like door codes and other kind of rhymes and things like that you have to figure out in this game. And there I did the exact same thing over again. So these remixes could also get frustrating. It depends on you know, what you like in games. But this is definitely new and definitely a fresh idea. So you see here that I'm kind of playing with things, getting them to try. You try to get a certain amount of things to kind of go haywire in order to get. Basically, most of the time when you remix, it ends up where you have to get somebody to kill somebody else and believe that you actually killed them.
I gave you more than I ever took, Frank. You had my best years. You had... best years.
Bullshit. You'll ruin my career before it's even started.
Because I won't be standing next to you. I won't be standing next to you in a photo. Get real, Frank. Get real. I'm not gonna pretend anymore.
Alex, don't you dare walk out!
Fuck you, Frank!
Alex!
So here you can see I'm getting pretty close to the end, to figuring it out, and I do one more thing, which is
Because I won't be standing next to you.
I find out that, hey, if I move the ball, then maybe he won't throw it. So this particular footage here is mainly what happens in the game, and this is going to be a longer portion of footage here. So these characters are called Leapers, and these are people that lost all their memories, so they kind of start dealing with some type of, they're not human anymore. As far as the game's concerned, memories are what make us human, so that if you don't have any memories, then so this is mainly what you'll see most of the game is you'll be walking around and you'll be dealing with leapers and guards. So you won't, like I said, there's only like a boss battle at the end of each mission usually. So not that many, but there's a lot more. You deal with a lot more leapers, and usually there's actually like waves of leapers. And you'll come to a linear part of the game. Like I was saying, this is similar to Batman, except for in this case it's basically Batman but with a linear world instead of an open world. So there you see that part of it was finished there. I'm basically looking around for something that resembles what's in that picture there to find an extra upgrade type thing. And here you see a little bit of the parkour stuff. And also, I know that there's a lot of games coming out that are implementing the parkour type style, like they have that other game, something light. I don't know the exact. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it uses, you know, it's parkour and zombies pretty much. And here you also get to see a little bit of the world after you've kind of interacted with
This
it.
ad. I've heard it before.
That's a good sign, sister. It means your core memory resisted the treatment.
Jax knows everything. Jax does everything. Jax looks out for your children.
There's a
and your
funny ad
children
about
will
Jax.
like him.
Jax
Celebrate
is
the
actually a
30th
pretty big
anniversary,
character in this
Classic
particular
Jax is
game.
back, but with all the latest
It's like
innovations,
a
making him
Android
toy number
toy
one this
pretty
season.
much.
Jax the Panda, a Happy Place product. Happy Place, the place for fun.
And here you see a little bit more of the world after you've kind of interacted with it. You know, it's not really that shining place that you saw earlier. Because this is kind of like the slums. It's called Slum 404. So, so you get kind of like that's kind of what you see in this game. The thing that I didn't really like too much about it is that, of course, this takes place in Neo Paris. So it should be, like, you know, the same size as Paris. But you kind of revisit the same places, like after you've done something, then you go back and you're like, oh hey, this is what my actions did type thing. So you revisit this place like called La Bastille like twice or 3 times. Even though you visit a different part of it, it's like you go through the same exact way and you see that it's a little bit different. Which is okay, I guess. And then some parts like you get to and you're just confused, like, where is this? Because This is completely different than all other places that I've been in the game so far. Like near the end, near the portion at the end, that's just like, how did I even get here type thing. So here also you see the combo lab, and in the combo lab you have different types of presents, right, that you could add in, and there you see your 3 combos, and you can unlock more combos. So basically the yellow ones are, if you hit that combo, doesn't matter if it hits or not, they could block it, but you still get health. It gives you health back if you get to that combo part of the chain. And then the purple ones are time, so basically it takes away presence time that it takes to for your presence to heal, for your presence to come back. So as you see there at the top, it says 15 seconds left until it finishes cooldown. So if I hit a purple, then it will subtract like 5 seconds or whatever. And the farther it is on the combo, the more you get from it. So something like that 3-punch combo doesn't give you too much, but if you hit it on like the 7th part of the combo, or you hit a health on the 7th part of the combo, you get quite a bit of health back. And the reason why I can't hit this guy is because you see the red ring around it. Basically, with all the other Leapers around, you can't really damage him much unless you use that presence. It breaks his defenses. But in the later parts of this review, I do have portions where it does talk about, it does have later combat pieces with, and also you can knock Leapers off, obviously. As parts where there's combats with Leapers and guards, you'll see some guards, and you'll see that I have a lot more combos and a lot more presence to do different kinds of things. And some of the enemies will be resistant to some of the presence, and others they won't be. So here is another part of, I guess you could say, kind of like the running type mode, where you're getting chased by a helicopter and you have to, yet he's your target. You're getting chased by him, but he's your target, so you kind of like are stuck. And you see like the destruction that they have in this, in the animation type. You definitely see it in this particular road, and you can see kind of the funny part about this game. There's not too much humor. There's very, very little in this game, but the humorous part is like sometimes when Millen drops, he jumps on something, it will fall, and then she will fall, and it's like, you know, basically every time it does that, it's establishing a point where you're locked in and you can only go forward, you can't go back. Is that, like I said, this game is very linear, it's not a Batman game or anything like that. You can only go forward, and I mean, this is basically a boss battle, in this case, that you don't actually really fight with him too much. So if you get hit once there, you die, which is no good. So you have to be, you know, time it. I guess it's also sort of like a puzzle portion too.
There's a big bad hungry wolf. Hunting in the woods.
I also didn't talk about some of the glitches. This game does have some of the glitches being third person. Sometimes you see how like the cameras are in between things. Well, sometimes the camera will actually hit something like a low-bearing wall, very low wall. It will hit it and it'll flip out, and your controls will invert. Same thing when you're crawling sideways and you're like, oh hey, I don't want to go forward, I want to go back. Like in this case, if the camera switch sides from her left shoulder over to her right shoulder, your controls invert. So if you want to go back and the camera's on the opposite side, then it flips your controls, and sometimes that'll even cause you to mess up, or cause you sometimes to accidentally hit spacebar, or sorry, E, hit full. here you get a little bit more of the score audio in this particular running portion.
Millen, stop playing with
Let's
this
get back to
freak.
where we
If he catches
see
you
him
off
again.
guard,
Yeah, okay, enough of the running commentary, thank you.
steal the code from this bird brain and get to Silicartier Wells.
Okay, I've got an idea.
Stay frosty, sis. This guy's serious.
So this is your great
So I'll show you guys the end of this particular boss battle, which is kind of like stealth. There's not too much stealth in this game. I mean, stealth is pretty much the only thing that there is which I do not have a video portion of, is there's guard robots with like a view, and you can't step into the view, so you have to go kind of like around. So that's the part where you need stealth and kind of to use your imagination to figure out how to get these guys out of your path and make sure you can hit them, because otherwise they're a one-hit kill.
This little Red Riding Hood's got a basket full of kick-ass!
And there also you saw that she stole his memory. So basically, what also will happen in this case, a lot of times in games, there's a thing called a remembrance. And basically, you follow their remembrance to get into portions that you don't have access to, places that are top secret or whatever. Since Millen just stole memory from a captain, she kind of knows all the previous places he's been and how to get into those places.
Okay,
So
Edge,
she could
Trace
activate
is out
the
of the picture,
remembrance
and I've got the
and be
access
able to
code.
get in.
No time.
And you saw this yesterday. So here's another action portion, and this is the last portion here. The portion after this, the footage, is a little bit of the monologue and cutscenes. This game is filled with has cutscenes to kind of fill you into the story. Each portion, after each chapter, it goes back and Millen is inside her head talking about what she's learned and what she's learned about the world and things like that, and what she remembers after her memory is wiped. So here you see that those guys are guards, and they have these shields on where basically if you attack them, it'll take away health. So you kind of have to know your health combos. As you see here, I'm using a lot of health combos. So after I hit him, I get most of my health returned back. And I use another one of my presents, which I have all 5 now, which that particular one's called the Logic Bomb. And then you have another presence called the DOS presence, which basically uses an IT term like denial of service. Denial of service presence, where basically you overload people's memories, and then they sit there stunned for 60 seconds or whatever it is. And the bottom left presence is Rust in Pieces, where basically you can control a robot to attack its friendlies, and this is the top right, which is camera. And of course, you know, the top one is Fury Prison.
Obsolete!
So you can kind of chain this together, and certain presents only don't work on some of the people and things like that. So, and here's the last portion here, which is a small monologue of Nillen's. So I'll go ahead and let you listen into this.
The raid on La Bastille ended.
This was
with
right
nothing
after the
but
remake.
More deception and emotional holes. Sure, Madame's
that I
rule has come
have
to an
in the
end.
video. This was after the
My
remix of
past
that
still
captain.
eludes me. Without my memories, I have no choice but to follow Edge's instructions with hollow conviction. And despite the atrocities I witnessed in that prison winning me over to the errorist cause, the recovered memory of my crime is gnawing away at my soul. I pushed a man to suicide. What else have I done? Worse? Edge only sees cause for celebration. Our liberated comrades have remembered their credo and taken up the fight against sense and technology once more. And now he wants to strike at the heart of the reconversion project and smash Memorize forever. His plan: go for the Queen Bee. Scylla Cartier-Wells, president of Memorize. I must remix her worldview, skew her past and soften her heart. And so I asked myself, is winning this struggle worth losing my soul? Can one crime justify the reversal of another? The old Nilin seemed to have the answer. As for this Nilin, she doesn't have a clue.
Okay, so now we're going to go into the conclusion. So, Remember Me was a great game. I loved it. It's pretty much a full cost. I don't know if I got a deal on it or not at Green Man Gaming. So definitely play it. Play through all 9 hours. It'll really have you looking at, the extras, like all the art and the pre-art of the game, and some of the character art before what it became in the final version. And the game has quite a bit of twists and turns, and like it said, it's kind of based on the popular game of Batman Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, and the new Origins coming out. So if you're a big fan of that game, but you like more of like a linear style play where you just go one way and it closes a door behind you, can't go back that way, you can only go forward, this is the game for you. It's a pretty good deal, and I would highly recommend it. Audio and the score of the game's absolutely excellent. Couple bugs and glitches like inverting controls and things like that. Not really that big of a deal. And also, like I said, some of the horizontal tearing without using VSync. So it plays great on some pretty high grade PCs. This is a 660 Ti playing at 1080p. I was usually getting 60 frames most of the time. Definitely get it, enjoy it, and then find another game to play after it because the replayability value is not there. Great first game from Dotnod. Looking forward to what else they have coming in the future, and if they're going to come up with a sequel or not, I'm not quite sure. But anyways, definitely get it. I would highly recommend it. So this has been Steven from Legit PC, and this is my review of Remember Me. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, please subscribe for other videos like it.